Good morning, children of grace. I'm glad you're joining us again as we are continuing to learn all about Jesus this winter. If you are reading along at home with your families, you might have read two stories this week. The first one is the story about Jesus in the wilderness, in the desert. And the second one is a story about Jesus calling disciples to come and do God's work with him. Pastor Ben's going to talk about the disciples in a little bit, but I wanted to talk about the wilderness or the desert. The desert is a pretty quiet place. I wonder if you have ever been in a quiet place all by yourself. Being in a quiet place all by ourselves can be really peaceful sometimes. We might notice something really cool that God created. Being alone in a quiet place can also be lonely sometimes, or boring. I wonder if some of you have felt a little bit lonely or bored sometimes during this coronavirus pandemic. Being alone in a quiet place can also be a little bit scary sometimes, like something might jump out. After Jesus was baptized, but before he started teaching and healing and doing God's work, Jesus went into the wilderness for 40 days. While he was there, he walked and wandered, he prayed, and he thought about things. And I bet there were some days while he was there that he felt very peaceful, some that he felt lonely, some that he maybe even felt scared. The Bible tells us that while he was there, he was tempted 3 times to turn away from God's voice. But when Jesus came out of the wilderness, he got right to work. He started teaching. He started healing people. He started calling friends. Come, do God's work with me. I wonder what it was about the quiet desert wilderness that helped Jesus be so ready to run and go and do God's work. And I wonder what we could learn from Jesus about how to pay attention to God in the quiet places, in the lonely places, even in the scary places, so that when it's time, just like Jesus, we can go and run into the world and share the good news about God's love with everyone. It's a story that I'm going to keep thinking about, and I hope you all keep thinking about what Jesus is teaching us as well. Have a blessed week.